Hello guys and welcome to another episode of TIR Insights. Today we've got a brand new setup to keep things fresh for all of you. Now, this is a series where I go through the latest news, updates and new developments in the market. And today we're gonna be talking about this new development coming up in the Tengah Gardens area known as Penridge. So here's what we'll be covering today. We'll be looking at the project information rapid fire style. We'll be going through some interesting facts about Penridge. I'll be sharing with you a pricing analysis using a past, present, future framework. And of course, at the end, I'll share with you reasons why I will buy or maybe will not buy Penridge. So first, let's look at some of the project information for Penridge itself. This is a plot of land that's been bought by a Hong Leong-led consortium and they submitted the top bid of $821 PSF PPR for this plot of land at Tengah Gardens Avenue GLS. Now, this is one of the cheapest land bid prices for a brand new mixed development in the entire 2026. And when we look at the bidding results between the three different developers, we can see that the Hong Leong-led consortium only paid 0.7% higher than the next highest bidder. And if we look at all the bids submitted by the developers, we can see that they were all very close bids. So congratulations to Hong Leong and their consortium for securing this, because this is a fantastic bidding price point. Now, I just want to add on that because the three different bids by the developers are all very close or less than 1%, it could also indicate that the developers are taking a more conservative stance due to maybe a lack of confidence in this particular location right now. So let's take a look at the land plot itself. So far, because a lot of things are relatively new, there's not been a lot of technical information that has been released. But what we do know is that number one, the site area is 25,458 meters square, which is roughly around 260,000 square feet. This is going to be a residential with a commercial at the first floor. The total GFA we're looking at is about 76,376 square meters, or roughly around 770,000 square feet. And this is a 99-year project. So when I looked into the technical details, we can see that this particular plot of land is going to be located right beside the upcoming Hong Kah MRT station, which is part of the upcoming Jurong Region line, which is expected to open in just 2027, just next year. So this is a bright spot for Penridge because I do believe residential mixed developments that are located right beside the MRT will be super appealing to both investors and homeowners. Also, we can see that the government has stipulated that this land parcel must still continue to be surrounded by greenery and nature along the west and southern side. So what does this mean is that if Penridge is going to be a high-rise development, we're going to be having unblocked views even if you're on the mid-floor. Now, when we look at the permissible GFA for the developer, we can see that the maximum GFA we're looking at is 76,368 square meters, which I've gone through already. But there is also a specification for the commercial use on the first floor to be a minimum of 2,000 square meters or a maximum of 3,000 square meters. Now, why does this matter? It's because when we actually do some calculations using the minimum GFA for the commercial and the maximum GFA from the commercial, we are looking at a potential number of dwelling units ranging from 863 units to 874 units. Now let's look at some interesting facts for Penridge. So first things first, we're going to be looking at the unique building facade. So these are some of the images given by the developer on the artist's impressions on how the facade for Penridge looks like. And if you ask me, I think it's going to be super beautiful, matching the whole theme that's currently in Tengah, which is a nature-centric development and nature-centric estate. And why did the developer do this is because, of course, the government also stipulated them to build this particular way. So you can see that the government, based from the GLS land plot technical details, has made it mandatory that the building facade needs to be designed to respond appropriately to Singapore's tropical climate. Not only that, the developer must use different materials, for example, concrete, brick, glass, blah, blah, blah. And as part of the facade, it needs to have a tropical architecture with sky terraces, balconies, sun shading laboos, deep recesses, window ledges, roof terrace, blah, 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 right? So it basically needs to have terraces of greenery. Hence, it looks like this. And based on the GLS technical details, we can see that there's a mandatory requirement for the development to incorporate a tiered, varied planting palette of trees and shrubs to create this lush and verdant environment that helps to complement and enhance the existing greenery in the Tengah estate. Now remember, we talked about the Hongkar MRT and how Penridge is right beside this upcoming MRT. The developer needs to, at his own cost, build a covered walkway for the residents. So I think this is a fantastic move by the government to ensure that there's an enhancement for the residents of Penridge. So this is something that's on your radar. You can look forward to a covered walkway directly to the upcoming MRT. When we talk about Tengah, we cannot avoid talking about a major infrastructure investment by the government. So I want to share with you about the Jurong Region line. Some of you have heard about it, some of you may not have heard about it. But this to me is a super important line with 24 new MRT stations. And we need to ask ourselves, why is the government building 24 brand new MRT stations within such a small cluster from Jurong to Choa Chu Kang area? And the only way to answer this question is by asking ourselves another question. Which area in Singapore has this same high concentration of MRT stations? That answer is the CBD. Do you see the similarity where the current CBD is, right? Where Raffles Place is, where the city area is? Do you see that there's a very high concentration of MRTs there? This is very similar to what's going to be happening in the Jurong area as well. So this tells me that there is conviction by the government to make Jurong East the next second CBD of Singapore. Because we do know that infrastructure investment, especially building an MRT line, is not cheap. This is a multi-billion-dollar investment. The government is not going to flippantly spend $1 billion building MRT stations for no reason. So this is something that you must drill in and understand. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about the Tengah area as well. So you may have heard that the high-speed rail, this joint venture with Malaysia, went kaput the moment Mahathir took office back in September 2018. And the two countries, being Singapore and Malaysia, they actually agreed to cancel this HSR project in Kuala Lumpur on December 31st, 2020. Important milestone to take note. Why? It's because if we look at the timeline of events, we can see that as Mahathir took over and he started to say that he wants to stop this HSR, we can see the government did not just sit down there and wait for things to happen. They executed a plan B. And that plan B is creating the Jurong Region line and also the Tengah estate as well. Now, why is this important? Is because we must understand what is the purpose of the HSR in terms of Singapore's context. To me, that purpose for the HSR is actually to bring in more people from KL, highly educated, working in the financial center of Malaysia, to Singapore to work in our new financial center or CBD in the Jurong East. We need manpower. But because this option is off the table now, the government pivoted with a plan B to have the Jurong Regional Line and also the Tengah Estate as well. So the Tengah Estate will serve as the manpower, younger couples, BTO projects to come and work in the new second CBD. And to make it even more convenient for them, the government is not building one, not two MRT, but 24 MRT stations. So that no matter where you are staying, in the Jurong area, in the Tengah area, even in the Choa Chu Kang area, you have easy access to the new second CBD. Now let's look at a pricing analysis using a past, present, future framework. Now let's look at the Tengah Garden Avenue GLS. First, we know that the Hong Leong Consortium submitted the highest bid at $821 PSF PPR. Based on this, their estimated break-even is going to be about $1,715 PSF, which, if we account for a 15 to 20% markup, we are talking about a potential sale price of around $1,009 to $2,000 PSF. I estimate, based on the current regulations and the things that's happening in the market right now, the developer will most likely launch on the low end of around 1,800 PSF to around 2,000 PSF, which is super attractive considering this is right beside the MRT and it is a mixed development as well. So first, let's look at some of the past prices. we can see that there was a recent EC nearby to where Penridge is. Average prices for a 3-bedroom there transacted for $1,619 PSF, or a price tag of $1.15 million. Now, if Copen Grand, which is an EC, was a full condo, that would mean the PSF it transacted at is going to be $1,862 PSF, or a price tag of $1.742 million. Now, moving forward, I'm going to be looking through at all the full condo status. I will convert all the EC prices to full condo and we'll compare from that. Lumina Grand, another EC in the Tengah area. If this was a full condo, the average PSF we're talking about is going to be about $1,803 PSF, or a price tag of $1.687 million. With Altura, same thing, EC. If converted to full condo, we're talking about a PSF of $1,728 PSF, or a price tag of $1.693 million. We have Novo Place, another EC. PSF transacted $1,957 PSF, or a price tag of $1.853 million. We have Le Quest. This is a full condo with also a commercial component on the first floor, transacting at a price tag of $1,659 PSF, or a price tag of $1.625 million. We have Soul Acres, semi-privatized EC, so you can actually buy it in the resale market. If this eventually receives a full condo status, I estimate prices probably going to be about $1,839 PSF, or a price tag of $1.7 million. We have Inns Residence, same thing, just recently achieved its semi-privatization. We are looking at potentially a full condo status price of $1,668 PSF, or a price tag of $1.687 million. Bringing the average past prices to be $1,788 PSF, or a price tag of $1.7 million. When we look at some of the present prices here, we can see that we have Auto Place, brand new EC that's launched. If this was a full condo status, we are looking at $1,957 PSF, or a price tag of $1.769 million. With Orel at Tampines, this is in the Tampines area, also in EC side, alright, I think it's a suburban area, equal comparison that we can kind of look at. We are looking at a full condo status of around $2,202 PSF, or a price tag of $2.039 million. We have Parktown Residences. This is a full condo near beside the MRT with a commercial component, transacted $2,240 PSF, or a price tag of $2.652 million. We have Norwood Grand, same thing in the suburban OCR area, transacted for $2,052 PSF, or a price tag of $2.142 million. Bringing the average present prices of similar developments in the OCR suburban area to be $2,113 PSF, or a price tag of $2.15 million. Now let's look at some of the future GLS prices to understand what are future pricings that we can expect in the similar areas as Penridge itself. So we have Chenchura Close. This is located in the Khatib area. Now, I've made a lot of jokes about Chenchura Close because most people would not have heard of it, and that's the exact point. Yet, this is a mixed development site that's going to be launching in the Khatib area at a potential sale price on the low end of around $2,240 PSF. We have the Lakeside Drive GLS land site. Based on the price the developer bought this land, same thing, we're going to be looking at least $2,286 PSF. We have a Woodlands EC land plot. Based on the price the developer bought the land, if I convert it to a full condo status, we are looking at potentially around a $2,145 PSF mark. When we look at all the future land plots, we can see the average pricing that's coming up. It's going to be around the $2,224 PSF, or a price tag of around $2.034 million. So what does this mean? I think that if Penridge can launch at around a $1,800 to $2,000 PSF, taking into account that it is right beside the upcoming MRT and also a mixed development, I think it is super attractive at that price point. Now I'll share with you reasons why I will buy or maybe will not buy Penridge. So first, reasons why I will buy Penridge. Number one, if I'm looking for somewhere that's super convenient near the MRT, near shops, and if I'm a homeowner, let's say if I have an elderly couple staying with me, I think this is going to be the added convenience that I would love. Or if I'm an investor and I'm targeting tenants then I think this added convenience makes it so much easier in terms of rentability. Number 2, if I'm looking for a condominium yet nearby to HDB amenities, right? We're talking about your regular HDB shops. I think this is going to be a fantastic location. Another reason is in terms of the future exit for Penridge, whereby you have this huge HDB upgrader pool you can exit to, and all of these people, right, they are young couples, they have bought a BTO, so they are sitting on very good margins. And of course, how can I miss out on this Jurong second CBD catalyst for Penridge itself? If you have a mid to longer term time frame, because the second CBD, the government wants to bring it up as of 2030. That's in just a very short 4 years. If you have that runway to look at, I think Penridge is going to be an excellent choice for your portfolio. And of course, Penridge at its current pricing presents a low quantum opportunity for a mixed development. Now let me share with you reasons why I will not buy Penridge. So number 1, unfortunately for Penridge, there are no good primary schools within 1 kilometer. Based on the plan so far, there's going to be a primary school that's upcoming, but high chances are it's not going to be a very popular school, just a normal average primary school. So if you're a parent and you want to send your children to one of the more elite or popular primary schools, this is not the condo for you. Secondly, if you are someone who just doesn't like staying in the west, and to some people Tengah is like the far west, then this might potentially be a location that's not suitable for you, hence Penridge is not the condo for you. And of course, linking to that as well, if you're someone who likes somewhere in the city fringe area, then Penridge, obviously located in the far west, is not going to be suitable for you. So we've come to the end of this episode of TIR Insights. I hope you liked the analysis for Penridge. Do me a favor, drop down in the comments reasons why you will buy or maybe will not buy Penridge. And of course, if you like such interesting content, do me a favor, it does require a lot of research and analysis to create such content just for you. So hit that like button, share this with someone who's going to benefit, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!